Yo, what up? This video is about hacks. My friend who passed away, as you maybe have seen, and it's probably going to be a little bit all over the place. Um, yeah. I didn't know him when I stood up for him the first time. I just observed everything that was happening. It was disgusting seeing such a one-sided beratement of him online every single fucking time he comes up and does literally anything, positive or negative. I made that video, and I truly thought that if someone went out and tried to get an empathetic conversation going, I truly thought that if someone just had an empathetic conversation and was willing to look at the scenario with nuance and not punish people for what they did under duress, that there was a peaceful resolution to be made. No one believes that he was a threat to anybody. What did he realistically do? He made a video calling Leffen Hitler. Big boo fucking who. What has Leffen done? If someone just went out and tried to put an empathetic position out there and tried to ignite a conversation, that movement would happen. Everyone saw what he was doing. Like, there's no way to view this as something that wasn't entirely avoidable. Like, truly. What more of a sentence can someone serve for making some videos online? People who look at something like this and think it's just a game have never loved anything. I truly feel that way. If you spent your entire life, 20, 25 years playing a musical instrument, the piano or something, and you devoted your entire life to understanding intrinsically you are one with the piano. Your purpose in life, your literal purpose for existing, for being alive, is to pursue something like that. And 5 sweaty fucking losers stand in front of you and say you're never going to perform for people again. I've been feeling all day like I could have done more, right? Classic cliche feeling. But it's true. In this scenario, it feels completely true. Because it wasn't about like, oh, I didn't see the signs and stuff. Like, everyone saw the signs, so all of us did. It wasn't about that, though. It was about advocating for him. It was about speaking for him, because you cannot speak for yourself in this community. And there was an opportunity to do more, to change the TO's minds, to put some pressure on them, you know? I saw what was happening, and I was too afraid to speak up more. I saw the positive effects of when I did speak up, and how there was some motion, and then I got afraid. People started treating me differently and stuff, and I got scared. And that's what they do. Advocating for hacks has backlash. It makes you afraid. There's conversations that happen in the background whenever someone does. He's the boogeyman. You're not supposed to say his name. And there's been a long created culture of people who are too afraid to even say his name. Someone who has left such a massive imprint on the community. And I became afraid as well. Hacks devoted his fucking life to the game. Spent 20 years playing it. He created a company around it. He made a controller that helps people avoid injury in their hands, dedicated specifically to the game. He created his own tournament series for the game. What happened? His shit stolen from him. He gets banned from attending the tournaments. He hands over his tournament series to someone else, who then hands it over to someone else permanently, and he's also now banned from his own tournament. The guy has been fucked at every single corner. And we all watched it. We all saw it happening. There's video essays documenting it. And people will go ahead and say, doesn't matter what the evidence says. This fucking guy who's saying it is bad. This fucking guy is horrible. People will just ignore fucking evidence right in front of their face if someone that they don't like says it. I should have done more. I could have done more. I had conversations privately with a handful of TOs. I had a wonderful conversation with someone I'm sure doesn't want to be named, and they even referred me to some other TOs, and you know what happened? I got like depressed and stuff, and I stopped pursuing it, and even though I knew that that man needed someone to advocate for him, I just stopped. And I figured, oh, well, I'll be able to get back to it soon. All we had to do was have just a small amount of empathy from the TOs. And I'm not gonna sit here and try and convince you that for some of them, there were ulterior motives, or maybe some financial interest involved. You guys can talk about that all in the comments you want and do your independent research, right? There's enough documentarians out there talking about that stuff. But we all saw it happening. We're all okay with Hacks being the martyr. What's the point of even talking about this? I think something should be said, right? Some amount of respect is owed to the man who dedicated his life to a craft, dedicated his life to bettering a community who didn't love him back, right? It's bullshit. The last times I talked to him make me so sad, dude. The last times I talked to him make me really sad. Things seemed really positive. I don't really know what the point of making this video is. The man deserved better. I just think in the flurry of everything that's gonna come, it should be firmly stated. He was a very good person. He was not a danger to others. He had his problems, just like we all have our own problems. But he was extremely kind-hearted. He treated everyone with the utmost respect. Every fan that met him has a great, wonderful story to talk about him. If there's anything meaningful for you to take away from this video, it's please remember Hacks for who he was and not for what people said that he was. He was truly empathetic. He was truly a kind person. Yeah, he would argue with you sometimes, but he would hear your side of the argument and he would really reflect on these things and he would apologize when he was wrong. And even when he wasn't wrong, he would apologize. Like, if anything can come from you spending time listening to whatever this is, Hacks was not a bad man. Hacks deserved better. Hacks needed his friends to advocate for him more. Hacks was a good friend to people who gave him a chance to. Hacks cared about how his friends were doing and how they felt, and he was always grateful for someone to be willing to enter his circle. And I wish I met you. And I wish that this was all some sick, twisted joke and that you're just a GoFundMe scammer. If anyone from Hacks' family, Hacks' mom, hears me speak, your son was brilliant. I'm sorry. And my condolences to everyone who knew him.